The skies over the Middle East are no longer quiet. Missiles blazing, cities scrambling for shelter, global energy markets in shock. This isn't a drill. Israel and Iran are trading blows, and the world is watching nervously. In the last 48 hours, Tehran launched advanced ballistic missiles at Israeli and allied positions. Israel hit back hard. Ask yourself right now, are we witnessing the start of a full-scale Middle East war? Stay with me. What you're about to hear matters. Not just for the region, but for global politics, oil prices, and world stability. Let's break down the story from the beginning in simple terms. For years, Israel and Iran have clashed indirectly. Proxy battles in Syria, missile salvos from Yemeni Houthi fighters, covert operations, shadow wars. It's been simmering. But over the past weeks, the simmer turned into a blaze. Tensions escalated earlier this year when U.S. and Israeli forces launched coordinated strikes against Iranian positions, including strategic command centers. In response, Iran has been firing missiles and drones across the Middle East, including toward the Emirates and Israel itself. What changed this week was scale and sophistication. Iran, for the first time, deployed advanced long-range ballistic missiles capable of striking across hundreds, even thousands, of kilometers. Now, Israel isn't just defending, it's hitting back strategically too. This isn't isolated border skirmishes. This is a major interstate conflict. And as we talk, diplomats, generals, and energy markets are on high alert. Let's zoom in on why this tension could explode into something even bigger. First, Iran's retaliation is no longer symbolic. It's calculated and escalating. These aren't just a few missiles. We're talking about long-range ballistic launches, hitting deep into Israel and neighboring areas. Missile defense systems, like Israel's Iron Dome, have been intercepting many threats, but no defense is perfect. Every missile that gets through is a risk to civilians, infrastructure, and regional stability. Second, Israel's response is no light artillery. Israel has intensified airstrikes inside Iran, targeting command posts and Revolutionary Guard infrastructure. Iran's leadership is warning back, calling strikes ecocide and condemning them as criminal. That rhetoric matters. When leaders use words like that, it signals mobilization of public opinion and harder negotiating lines. Third, spill over to other nations. Iran's missiles and drones are flying not just toward Israel, but toward Gulf states hosting Western base assets. That triggers NATO member legalities. That triggers national defense pacts. That could draw in nations beyond the Middle East. Ask yourself, what happens if the UAE or Saudi Arabia are drawn into direct combat, or if Russia, China, or Western powers start to take a side visibly? The risk of a regional conflagration increases by the day. The ripple effects of this conflict are already being felt worldwide. First, energy markets. Iran sits astride the Strait of Hormuz, a choke point through which roughly 20% of global oil supply passes. Any missile strike or military operation near oil terminals spikes prices. We've already seen crude jump by 8 to 10% in the last 24 hours. Imagine what happens if this escalates further. Oil, gasoline, and natural gas prices could surge globally, affecting everything from transportation to food costs. Second, regional stability. Gulf states are walking a tightrope. The UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar have advanced missile defense systems, but no system can guarantee complete protection. Every strike or near miss increases the pressure to either retaliate or bolster defense, which can spiral the conflict further. Third, global diplomacy. The U.S., Israel's strongest ally, has stated it will not yet negotiate a ceasefire. Meanwhile, Russia and China are quietly watching, weighing their own strategic options in the Middle East. This makes every missile fired more than a military move. It's a geopolitical chess piece. Each action could redraw alliances, impact sanctions, or even affect UN Security Council votes. And don't forget the human toll. Cities in Israel and parts of the Gulf are under air raid warnings. Casualties may be limited for now thanks to shelters and interceptors, but even minor losses stoke anger and calls for revenge, fueling the cycle of escalation. Comment below, do you think global powers can step in before this spirals into a larger war? Looking ahead, what are the possible trajectories? Prolonged escalation. If Israel continues deep strikes and Iran continues ballistic launches, the conflict could last weeks or months. Urban centers, infrastructure, and energy pipelines could all be targeted. This prolongs global economic uncertainty and risks drawing in more nations. Proxy expansion. Iran has allies in Lebanon, Yemen, and Syria. If Israel pushes further into Iran, these proxies may launch their own attacks, creating a multi-front conflict. That's exactly what military planners fear, a war that's no longer localized. Negotiated pause. There's always the possibility for diplomacy. Back-channel talks may focus on ceasefire terms, missile limitations, and humanitarian corridors. But the rhetoric from both sides, ecocide, strategic retaliation, makes compromise politically costly. Global strategic shifts. If the conflict escalates, expect realignments in trade and military strategy. European nations may accelerate energy independence plans. The US could reposition forces in the Middle East, and China or Russia may seize diplomatic or economic opportunities. This isn't just about missiles. It's about the future balance of power in the region. If this war extends into multiple nations, could we see a new Middle East security architecture emerge, or collapse of old alliances? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Here's what you need to do to stay ahead of this rapidly evolving story. Follow verified sources. The Middle East situation can change hour by hour. Bookmark news outlets like The Guardian, Al Jazeera, WSJ, and Reuters. Track economic signals. Oil and gas prices are an early indicator of escalation. If energy spikes, expect more political and military reactions. Engage and discuss. Use this platform to understand different perspectives. Ask yourself, how does this affect my country, my region, my investments? Before we wrap up, let me leave you with a crucial takeaway. The conflict isn't just a headline. It's a strategic pivot point that could shape the next decade in Middle East geopolitics. Missiles, strikes, and rhetoric are the surface. Underneath lies alliances, energy control, and global influence. The question isn't just who wins militarily, but who shapes the future political order. Finally, I want to hear from you. Do you think Israel and Iran will de-escalate, or are we on the brink of a full-scale regional war? Comment below with your predictions. And don't forget to subscribe for daily updates as this story unfolds. Hit that like button. If you learned something new today, share this video with friends who follow world news, and turn on notifications so you don't miss breaking updates. This is more than news. It's history in motion. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and we'll keep analyzing every development together.